Even if it's just one death, I think that it's important. Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is David Brooks, the Cadillac Counselor, just to tell you a little bit what's going on in my mind. And there's a lot going on in my mind. Before I get into that, make sure you go to Cadillac Counselor just to make sure you get all the updates. Subscribe. Always need a subscription. Help me out. Get criminogenics going, because I want it to go across the nation, and I know that you can help me. So let's get into this. Ava Ricketts, 32-year-old white female, quarantined in a jail, arrested December 21st. Young lady took her life on December 27th. It's horrific. Just to imagine just someone taking their last days in a detention center. Why do people do this? Let's talk for a second. This young lady had about 10 charges. Those 10 charges, most of them were just drug-related misdemeanors, driving on suspended or something like that without a license of some sort. Nothing really that big. People always think that it's always these big charges where people are facing first-degree murder and all of this. Sometimes it's not that. Matter of fact, a lot of times it's not. Every suicide I've ever seen or witnessed or had knowledge of, that I saw some of the things going around, all of them were all people who suffered with some type of mental health or substance abuse. Period. What are we doing about it, people? We got to talk about this. Yeah, it might be only one person a year. Still too many. In 2018, there was about 129 people on watch. How many people attempted suicide? 4. This is just in the Frederick County Detention Center. 2019, 92 people were put on watch. 3 people attempted. You know how many committed suicide? 0. You see, it seems like it's not really that big of a deal. But let's talk about this. People pass away. We know that. Young people are dying to addiction. We know that. But do they need to be dying in jail? Why do people do it? I think because they're suffering. A lot of people don't like to go to the infirmaries and to medical, so they just deal with the problems on their own. When you get people confounded in that building with the noise slamming and clattering, those noises are real. All night long. They never stop. Mental health issues, people have schizophrenia, bipolar, mood disorders. You can't take it being in there, regardless of what their charges are, especially if they're petty. What's going on? There was a guy by the name of John Hibbert. He passed away in the county. What happened? He was facing charges of child pornography. He even had child abuse allegations. There was a lot going on. He committed suicide. I remember in 2009, 2010, there was a ton of them. I think one of them ended up paying out. I don't remember what happened to hers or how much. They never disclosed how much she got. But there was some issues around the jail that kind of messed that whole thing up. Who clicked this? Who watched this? People were telling on each other. It was crazy. But they got it together. They put it all together, and there's a good solution. And I believe they got it down pat. People, we might not think that it's a big deal, but it is across the whole nation. Let's just talk about Maryland. Maryland, white males have the highest rate of suicide. White females follow that. Is it about economics? We don't know. It's not, suicide is not always just because circumstances are all wrong. A lot of times people are just suffering. So let's talk about the mental health aspect. When you get someone that commits suicide in a jail, and they have a petty crime that they probably only get about a year, 18 months, what's really going on? I'll tell you what's going on. We are failing them in the community. In Maryland, we need level 4 treatments. There's none. Go look for one. Call around for it. It's not here. So what happens when you don't have level 4 treatment? The people who need level 4 treatment go down to level 3. So then you fill up your level 3s. So all your level 3s go, they are still at level 2, your IOPs. What happens when they're full or they can't get to it? Outpatient. People are still struggling trying to do outpatient treatment when they need real hospitalization. We don't have it. So what ends up happening? All of those people who need hospitalization all end up in a correctional facility. They can't handle it. I'm telling you, they can't. They try their best. They have a short med list and they try to give out as much as they can, but everyone knows it's not enough. We really need to take a look at this. I remember a young man that died in 2010. I walked by his cell. He was in medical. I said, "Hey, what's going on?" He was banging on the glass. I said, "What's going on?" He said, "Man, I'm just trying to get out of here." "What's going on? What's your charges?" He told me, pretty petty. He said, "Man, I gotta go. I can't make it in here." I said, "Man, relax. You'll go, you'll get bail, you'll make it out." I go to get something to eat. Within 10 minutes, I promise you, running from everywhere, that young man killed himself. Saw another young man walking out of the jail going to court for a modification. What happened? I said, "Hey, man, good luck." He said, "Man, regardless, I'm leaving out them doors today." I didn't understand what that meant. This is what happened. He comes back in. He walks through the whole jail, goes back to his cell. He takes his food, hands it off to someone, put a sheet over the cell. What happened? Within 5 to 10 minutes, he was dead. When people want to commit suicide, they make up that decision. There's nothing you're going to do to stop them because they've already made up their mind. You might put an intervention or two in there hoping that you can catch it before, but most time when they got their mind made up, it's made. This is what the problem is, people. We have to improve the community health so that the jails and the prisons can handle their job. If we don't do it right in the community, they end up in jail. That's not a good look, people. And yeah, you could say, "Hey, who cares? They're criminals." What if it's your daughter? What if it's your son? And they get sentenced to jail and they have a mental health problem. Do you want them to be treated that way? No. So let's get them the help we can. This is the Cadillac Counselor reaching out to you, tell you a little bit what's on my mind. But people, we got to do better.